because it will open a new world in front of them. All second thing which
Any particular recommendation that you would like to give?
so if you are more interested in autobiographies, you can read this. Simply, I've earlier also mentioned My Experiments with Truth, Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. And if you want to get into this business and
I'm just wondering why are
organizations,
you not suggesting any social sector books?
yeah, 0 to 1 is also any person who want to have particular like starting of understanding of any business, how to do it and how to get into business things, and they can start with the 0 to 1. There is one very nice book, but it is a huge like very heavy book which you have to finish. It is Built to Last. That also you can read for a better understanding of any particular organization building and how to build it from the scratch.
These days, this is something I have also observed, that people start using the word enterprise. They want to portray themselves as social entrepreneur. But I always think that what is the difference between a businessman and a social entrepreneur? If you are using the word social entrepreneur or even entrepreneur, because social comes later. So, if you in your definition, what is the difference between these two things, between a businessman and a entrepreneur, and how does social entrepreneur come into this picture?
See, all these people, all the terms which you have mentioned here, there are two category. One is business, second is first is entrepreneur, second is social entrepreneur, right? They both are trying to solve a problem, or they are both are working on a problem or adding something latest on top of it, on the solution. So, but the purpose of solving that problem is different for both of them. For a businessman, for a social entrepreneur, for an entrepreneur, they are trying to solve that particular problem in the community so that they can gain monetary profit on it. So you can say if one person is making tractors for farmers, it will solve a problem. What problem it will solve? They can plow the field very fast in very short span of
Mhm.
time and get more yield on their um,
Land.
land. But for that entrepreneur, they are making the tractors for so that they can earn monetary profit on it. For a social entrepreneur, it is different. They are also trying to solve the same problem, but first their primary goal to solve this process is to support the community, or to solve that problem is the primary thing for them. Earning profit is a secondary um, goal for them. That is the only difference between entrepreneur and social entrepreneur.
I agree with you 100%, but I just think a bit differently.
Okay, tell
I
me.
like a slight change of thinking. I think businessman is someone, businesswoman, business person, I think would be the right word. A business person is someone whose primary goal is to earn money. So Dheeraj, you have been running this organization for last, I guess, 7 to 8 years. So how do you see yourself as a founder? This is my first question, and building on that, how do you see journey in the social sector? Like when you uh, started your journey in this sector, you were you're coming up with different kind of ideas, different kind of visions, and over the past 7 to 10 years, your thinking, your personality must have evolved. So how do you see your journey and yourself as a founder of an organization?
Before I started this organization, Rohit, I was working with different organizations. So on this table, there are two sides. First side you see from that particular side, and second from this side. So when I see social sector as an employee, I was working under my manager. I was following the instructions. I didn't have that much pressure on my head when I was working for some other organization. Like I was following my tasks. We were going doing surveys. I was doing plantation, handling events, and the guests which were coming, who were coming, and so I would say there was less pressure, and learning was also I would say not mandatory there. If you yourself want to learn something, you have to put efforts and learn things, right? When you are meeting people, you have to learn how to communicate and all those things you were learning. But when I see this social sector from this side of the table. When I started this organization, when I see it as an employer, there's a huge difference. You have a lot of pressure on your head that how you are going to run the organization, how you will bring the funding for the organization, how you will motivate the people you are working with, how you would work with the community. And from the day one, when you start an organization, you would start learning. It is mandatory to learn, otherwise you won't survive and your organization won't survive. So when you go in the community, you have to be prepared. You should have an understanding of the particular community. You have to talk in that way. When you're dealing with your team, you have that understanding how to manage a team, how to lead a team, how to be a manager, how to be a leader, right? When you're working with the funds, you have to have some understanding of that particular sector of your projects and everything, so that you can present that idea very clearly to the clients, to the funders, to that corporate people. Otherwise you won't get the funds. So it's a roller coaster journey, again that word. So it's a roller coaster journey when you see it from this side, but there's huge learnings which will like shake you, and which you will enjoy, I would say. And you would be a very different person after you start it.
One more thing I just recalled right now, that one thing that you have mentioned about learning, that as an employee you have to make efforts on your own to learn something. But recently I observed one thing, that when you want somebody to learn something, then usually what happens, we ask them, we motivate them, we try to sometimes pressurize them to learn something. But I think the better approach would be to make a situation or create a situation in such a manner that it becomes a responsibility of the second person to learn something. For example, if I give you a task, if I want you to be good at Excel, for example, I want you to learn that skill, then rather than me asking you, okay, learn Excel, I should give you a task, and that task should be important for you or for your profile. So, and in order to get that task done, you have to learn Excel. So it becomes your own responsibility. Okay, yeah, I want to learn, rather than, okay, if he's asking me, he's pressurizing me, so I am answerable to that person, so I have to learn something. So I think it, and as a leader, it becomes your responsibility. I'm not saying that this is the right approach in all situations, but it could be one of the approaches, that you can create an atmosphere for your team where you delegate operations or tasks in such a manner that they learn by doing. They feel the responsibility. Okay, I need to learn something because I have to deliver XYZ things. So this is the approach that I recently observed.
Correct, it is. That is why I also, me and my co-founder Aishwarya Raghupati, we both try to create a particular very specific environment, or we try to give a space to people who we are working with, where they could flourish, where they could learn freely. We don't want to like bound people to work in some particular hours, or it is not a time based organization, it is a task based organization, I would say. So people would be given tasks and they would have their own freedom to complete them. Yeah, you rightly mentioned that you have to create a space where the people can learn instead of just forcing them, right? But I would say when you are an employee, exceptions are always there, but when I was an employee, I was having other things in mind: my family, the city, friend circle, and things which were important to me. And this was a job, particular job for me from 9 to 5, right? And I was having my particular way of learning. But when I started this organization, it occupied all the time and space which I was having. And here I was like bound to learn. And in the same time, I was enjoying that learning also. Because without that, I was not able to move forward. But when I was an employee, I was able to move without learning also. I don't
So,
know.
Dheeraj, are there any myths that you want to bust around social sector? Are there any perceptions that you want to bust around social sector?
One or two things I can mention here. It is like a rapid fire question for me. First is that these are non-profit. People cannot work professionally. We have good training institutes now. We have good courses which people are coming from, and we can work as professionally as people are doing in corporate world. Second is that NGOs do not have the capacity to present their work or to make final reports and surveys. Uh, that is also a myth. We have a good understanding of the community which we work with. We can present our work, we can make the professional reports, we can present our ideas well. So, yeah, I think these things I want to say here.
So, Dheeraj, we are just going to wrap up the session with the next couple of questions. So, I would like you to answer these questions in a very fast manner. Don't think too much about these questions. Like, what do you think is the future of Nauka Foundation?
It'll grow. It'll have different leaderships and people who would keep working with it.
Is there any specific thing that you would like to tell the youngsters of this country?
Keep traveling, keep reading books.
Where should they travel? Any particular destination?
There shouldn't be any destination in mind. They should start traveling anywhere. Take the train, go meet people, stay in some economic places. Just travel.
Or like a last question from this rapid fire round, is there any particular habit that they should try to incorporate in their daily routine, irrespective of their career or profile?
One very important thing I want to mention here: be observant of your ideas, of your decisions which you are making, of the thoughts which you are having in mind, and who is thinking what the mind is saying. Every these all these things you should be very observant of.
So, this is my last question would be, is there any specific thing that you would like to tell those people who are entering this sector, who are a bit unsure in terms of their career opportunities or salary packages in this sector, or anything else?
So if you want to come to this social sector, there are some organizations which are having very nice programs, fellowships and exposure programs. Like there is one organization in Delhi, Prava. They are having nice programs, so you should join them. Go out for like 1 week, 1 month, and you should do these fellowships and programs so that you have better understanding of this sector. And it could be a pilot project for you where you would be able to realize whether you will feel good with this sector or not. So it's very nice in this sector that you can have the gist of it before entering into it. So join these programs, start traveling to different places. Like you can go to Banaras, you can go to Rishikesh, you can go to very nice places in South India, and there you will realize more about your thoughts, who you are. You will meet very nice people. It will broad. You will have a broader perspective after that. I think that is the process. I think these students should follow, and you should read more books. And if you talk about the salary in this sector, we have very good salary packages in different organizations. It is not okay. Initially, you can focus on your learning, and later you can have good salary packages also. That is not the problem now after this CSR rule, which government has made mandatory in this country.
Sounds good. So, Dheeraj, thank you very much for the conversation. And I think this conversation has been really personal for me because I have seen your journey as a friend, as a founder, and the kind of insights that you have shared in this podcast in terms of your journey as a founder, and the how like changes and impacts are measured in different sectors, and the kind of learnings in terms of your books you have had, and many other things. So thank you very much for taking out some time for this conversation, and I hope at some point of time we can have this conversation again. So looking forward to that session, and thank you very much. If you want
Yeah,
to if you want to say something, you can say.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for like having this discussion and this podcast with me. It was a reflection session for me, and I have learned a lot. When you were asking questions, really, I was thinking about it. When you asked why you started this organization, what is the future of it, and all. So I have a better understanding of that after it. And congratulations that you have started this journey of podcast. And I think and I hope that you learn a lot from this journey. You meet very nice people, and after some time we will meet again and see what progress you have made. And All the best.
Thank you.